Blast on Hakai! God of Destruction Goku disguised himself as Turles on Planet Vegeta in the past. However, when his hood flew off, his father could recognize essentially his own face anywhere. Upon two Bardocks presenting themselves to King Vegeta, today we find out how he will react. Celestial World. Asking again. Soldier Bardock, are you saying you know why you and this man look so alike? He is. Commanding he tell him. Bardock explains the reason is, they're probably brothers. And brothers? That's the only logical conclusion he could come to. The fact is, he never knew his father. Just as he had a child with his mother, he must have had children with other women too, including the mother of Turles here. His mother always told him he looked like his father, and that must be the case for Turles as well. That must be why they look identical. The king thinking that makes a lot of sense. Fact is, his own sons resemble him a lot too. Especially young Vegeta himself. It's not uncommon for children to look like their parents, which can result in identical siblings. He should have figured all this out sooner and not had such a wild reaction. Weighing in silently. Goku is pretty stoked his dad came to such a conclusion on his own. This way he can keep his disguise and not change too much around here. When he saw his face back in the village and saw how much the two looked alike, Goku had no idea what to say. The Hakai beast that dwells within Goku, which if memory serves decided to call himself Kakarot for the time being, exclaims it's fortunate many Saiyan men don't settle with just one woman and end up having children with several. Bardock never even knew his father. He thinks he might have had some siblings scattered around the planet, maybe even universe, and Turles is one of them. Looking at our hero, the king beckons. Your name is Turles, isn't it? It looks like he's gotten himself into quite the mess. What does he have to say about this? Earlier, Goku drew attention to himself and got the guard called on him. He was able to evade capture because he's still infinitely stronger than everyone else, but he wasn't able to escape all the attention he drew. He claims this all was a big misunderstanding. Addressing him formally, he swears he never intended to cause any trouble. Questioning why he was wandering around the castle without permission, and why he's wearing the armor and the color of those rebel criminals. He furthers, well, about this armor, I found it on a skeleton in the desert. And the castle, I had never been to this region before, so I kinda got lost. My bad. Interrupting, Bardock insists that despite all the trouble Turles has caused, he doesn't seem to have any bad intentions. In the end, he didn't seriously hurt anyone. Also, he personally saw him save his own wife from danger. Asking please overlook what has happened and give him a chance. Vegeta wants to know something. Did Turles really come from the Desert of Darkness? He was informed his power level was only 416. How did he survive there being so weak? Unsure how to answer, the first thing Goku can think of is what he told the others. The truth is, he learned a lot of interesting techniques. Thanks to that, he's managed to survive. And he did hear how he knew how to do magic tricks. Personally, he himself has a disdain for that sort of thing. All he cares about is battle power. Even so, he must admit that he's quite skilled and cunning, to the point of causing trouble for Bardock's team, the castle guards, and even his own son. He has thoroughly piqued his curiosity. However, he cannot ignore the fact that part of his castle was damaged because of him, And he also made a fool out of his son and soldiers. In that case, he'll put him to the test. And a test? The summer tournament is approaching. Many low-class soldiers seeking recognition or a better position will participate, as well as other non-soldiers hoping to join his army. It's a competition where every participant wants to prove their worth to the king. Turles will participate, and depending on his performance, he will decide whether he will be executed for his crimes or allowed to live. But a tournament? That's awesome! Beast reminding it's not. As we wait on its reasoning, the king continues that he knows Bardock didn't intend for this, but he wants him to participate as well. Put off by this, the father of Goku wants to know if he heard him correctly. Confirming his statement, since his probable brother is participating, he thinks it'll be interesting. And since they're from the same family, he'll be held responsible for this newcomer's actions, so he'd better keep Turles under control. Nervously agreeing, Goku smiles not only at the excitement, but knowing nothing can really go wrong on his watch. With that decided, Vegeta commands Turles to get ready for the tournament. His life depends on it. Terms he's totally fine with. As the pair tap down the hallway, Bardock admits having to participate in this tournament's going to be a huge pain. But Goku beams he not say that. Tournaments are always awesome. Which stops his half-oblivious father in his tracks. How can he say that when he spent his whole life in a desolate desert? And it's because other people told him. Letting him off the hook, his dad warns he'd better prepare for this tournament. The king will definitely want to see more than just tricks. If he disappoints, he might end up dead. Who promises to brush up on martial arts? This will actually be a great chance to say he increased his power level and not have to pretend to be so weak anymore. The Hakai Beast warns he be careful. He'll probably be watched by thousands of people, including the king and other elite warriors. One mistake and he's done for. Our hero remains confident. He'll be careful. Then reflecting on the fact that guy was Vegeta's father. They're so alike even in personality. He wonders what the Vegeta from his own time is doing right now. Universe 7 in the present time. We're taken to the parallel dimension inside Whis' staff. Both the Angel and Destroyer looking on. Eurus wonders how long this fight's been going on. Whis, calculating in Earth time, states it's been almost a whole day. Causing the god to smile, these guys have been making him wait almost a day. And yet he's not even a little bored. Vegeta and Broly duking it out. Every fiber of Vegeta's body is at its limit. He feels like he'll fall apart at any moment. But despite all this pain, he feels more alive than ever. Broly's struggling too. We can see that he's in his berserk state. The prince scolds, what's he doing? Get up! It's not over until one of them can no longer stand. Beerus believes they're already at their limit. Whis too. The next minute of this fight will be the final one. Then in the hyperdimension, we rejoin Gohan, Piccolo, and Buu, who have been led here by Pikkon, the leader of the Celestial Guardians. The hyperdimension is a space that exists outside all realms, and it's the only known way to travel between realms. The Warden of Passage decides who is worthy and who will be erased for daring to use the space. Having witnessed him destroy an angel in the last chapter, Gohan knows if they piss this guy off, they're done for. Then laying eyes on Gohan and/or Piccolo, he happily exclaims,
"Oh, it's you! I'm sorry for keeping you waiting. I hope it wasn't a bother. A very warm welcome to you."
Huh? Although our hero is a bit confused, Piccolo is curious about the sudden mood swing. Then with an angrier expression, he winces at the sight of Buu and Oob. So those abominations came too, infuriating the Majin. Trying to figure something out, Piccolo states he doesn't like Majin Buu. They're screwed! Pikkon speaks, as he previously informed him. He would like to request his permission to take these four to the Celestial World. As he already mentioned, this is of the utmost importance in resolving the crisis in Zeno's realm. He replies,
"Very well, Pikkon."
He trusts that the Master of the Celestial Guardians will take care of their guests. But if those two cause any trouble, let him know. He'd love to punish them. Pikkon guarantees that won't happen. With that, the Warden allows them to proceed, bowing in gratitude. He takes to the air, calling for the others to follow, asking where they're going. Pikkon informs at the top of this passage, they'll exit the castle from above. Piccolo inquires why the Warden was so friendly and respectful to he and Gohan, but completely rude to Oob and Majin Buu. It's because Oob and Majin Buu are fragments of the supreme deity Zara. The Warden of Passage despises Zara for the chaos he caused in the past. He naturally holds a strong antipathy towards him. In fact, the Warden and the hyperdimension itself were created precisely because of Zara's reckless actions. Before Zara had attacked Zeno's realm, travel between the realms was much freer. But after what he did, restrictions had to be done. That's why the other supreme deities created the Warden of Passage, who then created the hyperdimension. To make matters worse, sometime later, Zara's servants, the Celestial Mages, bypassed the hyperdimension and invaded Zeno's realm. And recently, they did it again. All of this only deepened the Warden's resentment towards Zara and his followers. Gohan chiming in. From what he's saying, the hyperdimension seems incredibly secure. How did the Celestial Mages manage to bypass it? And that's the question they all wish they had an answer to. Unfortunately, they don't know. Piccolo mentions he said the Warden despises Buu and Oob because they're parts of Zara. What about Gohan and him? Why was he so courteous to him? And he still hasn't explained why Koizmo-sama, the giant fish very similar to the one in Daima, was so shocked when he saw him. Pikkon smiles they'll understand very soon, once they learn the real reason they're here. The Namek voices his frustration and how he really likes his mysteries. Gohan was also wondering something, by the way. He said the Warden of Passage was the one who created this dimension. But once, his father told him he discovered in the demon realm that a guy named Rymus was the creator of all things. A claim that visibly angers Pikkon, creator of all things. No, far from it. It's true the Super Majin Raimus created the universes they know, but many things were created long before he was even born. The hyperdimension is one of those things. If it'd like, he can tell him more about Raimus and the circumstances that led him to create the universes later. As our group progresses, they pop out the top of the castle, wondering what that light is. It's the passage of the Celestial World, their destination, signaling them to follow. Piccolo is interested in what awaits him. As the leader introduces them to the Celestial World, the paradise of the gods. Getting an eyeful. This place is. Cutting him off, Pikkon finishes a sentence. Divine. He knows. The Celestial World was created by the Supreme Deities themselves to serve quite literally as a divine paradise. Every being in the Celestial World is divine, including the animals. Even the plants, the waters, and very structure of this world carry divine energy. Boo beckoning if the food here is special too. 'Cause he's hungry. And it is. He's going to love the food here. But before anything else, there are some people they need to meet. Pikkon said this place was designed by all the Supreme Deities to serve as a kind of paradise for the gods. Does that mean there are dead gods from all the realms here? It does. But these gods from different realms, do they all manage to live in harmony in this place? Generally speaking, yes. Just like the hyperdimension, the Celestial World is a neutral zone. Here, the differences between realms are forgotten, and everyone lives in peace. Of course, nothing is perfect and there are a few beings who still hold grudges. But that's the exception, not the rule. However, it seems like not all deceased gods can come here. That seems to be the case with the angel they saw earlier. Another correct statement. There are certain parameters for being accepted into this divine paradise. For example, good gods who died heroically are more easily accepted. Especially deities who perished fighting other corrupted deities. Pikkon himself died battling the Celestial Mages. Divinities that could be considered corrupted, for acting against the common rules of the Seven Realms. Naturally, he was accepted here quite easily. The angel they saw at the Warden's castle, on the other hand, must not have been a particularly good deity, and was deemed unworthy of being here. The Warden's judgment for him was probably to be erased from existence forever, or something even worse. Unable to help himself, Piccolo mentions the way he talks. It sounds like the Warden of Passage could have seen it as an affront for mere mortals like themselves. To even think about entering this world and might have punished them in some horrible way, maybe even killing them. Indeed, normally the Warden would see it as an outrage for mortals to even consider stepping foot in the Celestial World. He imagines he would have erased them and himself alike from existence immediately. But how could he risk their lives like that? Pikkon asserts this was not reckless on his part. He was certain the Warden would approve their passage. At any rate, they've arrived. This is his home, the Celestial Fortress. Headquarters of the Celestial Guardians. A sky-high lookout, huh? Even this transcendent place has some similarities to Earth. Not answering. He beckons our heroes to enter with him. Greeting him, a couple of the Guardians we've seen before. One of which smirking they took so long to get here, he thought he was gonna fall asleep. But the appearance of another angel throws off the gang. Who cheers, it's a pleasure to meet him. His name is Endor. Though that's not all they're shocked to see. This guy, he looks like confirming their suspicions. He's a Saiyan too. It's nice to meet him. He goes by Yamoshi, but they may know him better by another name. Vegeta.